I did a stupid thing. I fell off my roof on December the 1st, 2013, and managed to do a fair amount of damage to my body. My name is Bert Serre, and I live in Windsor, Ontario. I was taken to the Willett campus at Windsor Regional Hospital on Sunday, the 1st of December. And I was told that I broke a total of 29 bones, all of my ribs, my left scapula, one of my vertebrae, my right hip. I damaged one of my kidneys. I bruised my lungs. I had abrasions, contusions on my legs, and a concussion. Other than that, I was in pretty good shape. I spent 7 days in intensive care, and I had surgery on my right hip on the 4th of December. Moved from ICU into up onto the 6th floor after a week, and remained there for a total of 45 days. And after my 45 days at the hospital, I moved to the T4 campus of Hotel du Grace Healthcare for rehabilitation. I wasn't ready to go home when I left the Willett campus, and so I went to the rehab facility where the physiatrists and the occupational therapists and physiotherapists and the others took care of me and got me in good enough condition to come home after another 16 days. So total of 61 days in the hospital. The nursing staff at the hospital I thought was fantastic, although I will say, if I can offer a little critique, a small critique, patient charts aren't always fully read. They, for the most part, knew about my broken hip, but didn't pay attention really to the other broken bones. And when they ask you to do something and you say, "Excuse me, do you know what I'm suffering from? All the things no, we know you have a broken hip." I said, "Read the chart and then come and ask me to do that." So, small thing, but that and communications aren't always the best. Doctor to patient, doctor to nurse, nurse to patient. I was moved several times, and you're moved and you're not told why you're moved. And including just before I left, they needed the bed. So they moved me from the orthopedic area that I was in on the 6th floor down to the 2nd floor at 9:30 at night while I was trying to sleep. So, but little things like that, you survive, okay? And matter of fact, I was back there a couple of weeks ago to visit one of my uncles who's in the hospital, and I got hugs and kisses from several of the nurses up there, so that made me feel good. So anyway. The doctor stayed on top of things, and I think the other thing that really helped me, there was a nurse practitioner at the hospital that basically took me under his wing from the day I showed up till the day I left. And he's called a nurse practitioner, but I would call him a patient advocate. And to me, the system needs more people like this guy. I don't know if he was doing it of his own volition or that's his exact assignment. The term patient advocate is a term that I'm using, but I felt he advocated very well for me. The nursing staffs at these locations I thought were superb. And there are all kinds of other support staff that we overlook. The people who come in to take your blood, the people who are taking you from your room down to X-ray or MRI or CAT scan or ultrasound, the porters, I think, or the chauffeurs or whatever the heck you want to call them, they all have a role to play. And then those people in those areas all have roles to play. And I've had the opportunity to experience healthcare in Australia, Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom. And it's interesting that Australia, Canada, and the UK all have similar systems. And the US system is, you know, a private pay-as-you-go type system. I think overall, the treatment that I've received in this particular scenario and what I've had since we moved back to Canada has been very good. Very good. The wait times are longer. In this case, they took me right away. It was sort of an emergency. So, no, I was very pleased with how everything transpired.